Thought you guys might want to check out some of the sights and sounds of this past deer season out at our camp. Hey there, outdoor YouTubers. It's Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors, and driving into the camp today. It's the day before the opener of the firearm rifle season here in Michigan, so it's November 14th. Obviously, tomorrow's November 15th. That's the big day here in Michigan. Deer season is always starts on November 15th. So anyways, driving into the camp. Gonna spend a few nights out here, do a little deer hunting, see how that goes, you know, always hopeful, right? But I do guarantee that I'm gonna eat good, and I guarantee I'm gonna have a good time, that sort of stuff. Got a little snow here, you can see from the background. We did get a good amount of snow. And that's always kind of a fickle thing in the area of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan that I hunt. I do like having snow for deer season. I think it gets the deer moving. I think it specifically helps me in the actual spot where I hunt. I kind of hunt in the swamp, and I think the snow kind of gets some of the deer out of the higher hardwoods and into the swamp. So that's all good. But like I say, it's always kind of a fickle thing, because this area of the UP, the deer migrate out every winter. There just isn't enough winter habitat, and the snow totals are just too much. They don't stay in this area throughout the winter. If you take a snowmobile into our camp in the middle of January, you won't see a track anywhere. So it's always kind of a fickle thing. I like to have some snow for deer season, which this amount is probably fine. But once you start getting more than the amount we have right now, you do kind of run the risk of the deer starting to migrate out of the area, which we don't want that. You know, we don't want all the deer to migrate out before deer season. So this would probably be pretty good. We'll see how it goes. I don't think they're going to be taking off quite yet. I think they'll be hanging around for a while yet, but we really don't want more snow than this. So anyways, coming into the camp, spend a few nights, see how everything goes here, and you have to kind of check it out with me. Pulling into the camp. Scott's here already, so that's good. That means he's got the wood stove going already. So I got that going for me. Another thing I got going for me is this new hat. You guys think of that? All right. All right, what do we got going there, Al?
Just a little refilling of the tobacco, Dave.
Oh, I thought you had some Ben and Jerry's ice cream going on there.
Well, it's just kind of one and the same almost, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ben and Jerry's is quite as good for you as
Yeah, I think if that was Ben and Jerry's, I'd probably ask for a little bit, but I think I'm going to pass now.
You pass on this?
Yeah, I'm going to have to pass.
I don't want to get lightheaded and have to puke and lay with my feet above my heart for like 20 minutes.
That did happen last time.
And that was with Skull Bandits.
That
wasn't even regular chew.
Yeah, this was
that wasn't even real man chew. That was like
this is the high octane.
That was like
stuff.
junior high chew.
That was
Put me out of commission.
Yeah, that happened with jerky chew.
Big league.
Yeah, sauna waters. Getting a little icy on the top there. It's been kind of a cold deer season so far. So we gotta fill up the holding tank with our frigid ice water. Want to definitely fill that up before we light a fire in there. Get this water heating up. Cover this up. Down here. Gotta twist them, right? Lengthwise, simulate candling. You guys have heard me say that before, right? I've mentioned that in another video. Small kindling. A little bit bigger kindling. A lot of times it's nice to have a kind of a dry split piece of something. You know, in this case we got popple, burns kind of quick. Nice open, you know. You can lay that right down on where you want this fire to get going. It's nice to have the fire not to have to work through the outside bark. It's nice to have a good split piece to stick on top of everything at this point. So, won't be long now. This ice cold water with chunks of ice in it will be nice and hot. It'll be great for washing up. Peek in here real quick. Oh yeah. Starting to take off good already. Got a good draft. There's no smoke coming out of the front here. Everything's drafting upward good. So it's gonna take off nice. So take a bit of water here. Didn't take long.
He hit him and the guy never even had the ball. He waited for a fair catch and the guy just drilled him. He never even caught the ball. That's doubly worse.
Here's one of our deer camp traditions, the mounting of the pins. My brother-in-law Dale makes these pins. He's nice enough to give a few of these out to the camp every year, and we kind of mount them here on the wall. And they're kind of deer season themed pins. So every year when he gives us a new one, I just kind of mount it up here on the wall. And they're kind of neat little things to look at over the years. And if you're at all interested in purchasing these pins, you can go online and buy these at We Dig Mud and Metal on Etsy. And you can purchase some of these deer season themed pins. So if you're at all interested in these types of pins, check it out. Third day, more snow. Yeah, that's a lot of snow. And there was already 10 inches shoveled off it already this year. Hey there, outdoor YouTubers. It's day 4, Michigan firearm deer season. No bucks yet. I have seen a few smaller bucks, spike horn. I did see a pretty nice 4-pointer on a couple of occasions so far this deer season. I did actually videotape them one of the times when I saw them. So that one got to walk, but there's a few bigger bucks around, so I'm still pretty hopeful. So anyways, it's been very cold, quite a bit of snow. I think when we left the camp this morning it was 2 below zero, very cold. Fortunately, I do have a nice enclosed blind, But even with a heater inside this blind, it's not insulated very good. But even with a heater inside this blind, my iced tea sitting on the floor of the blind is freezing up. So the floor of the blind is still well below freezing. But if you're dressed up inside the blind with the heater, it's comfortable anyways. So nobody's suffering too bad. Just keeps the iced tea nice and cold on the floor of the blind. But so far, no bucks.
It's Italian night.
Yeah?
Yep.
What do we got here?
We got some manicotti. Kudigi, ricotta cheese, and spinach. Son of a gun, that's hot.
Careful.
It's a hot grill, I guess.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh yeah, that's there, eh?
Oh, it's there. I think it's ready. Well, it ain't quite ready yet. It's getting close.
All
I mean,
right.
it's cooked all the way through, but it's a little cool in the center. So yeah, we'll cover it back up and we'll let it go a little bit longer. I've been spinning it every
Awesome.
so often, because I don't know if you noticed this before. We got a few hot spots here on the grill there to kind of burn through.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's a little iffy.
it's
Remember that one time we had Italian night and we had like polenta and red sauce and stuff, and Ronnie Camaro thought it was pronounced placenta.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
that's when he brought the ketchup for the placenta.
Yeah, he did that too.
Yeah, that was the Italian seasoning sauce.
Yeah, so Ronnie was adamant that polenta is actually pronounced placenta. And, and we were kind of going back and forth with it that one night. And he's like, no, Dave, I was watching that TV show, Access Hollywood, and they were saying that Tom Cruise celebrated the birth of his daughter with a nice meal of placenta. And I was like, no, Ronnie, that's totally different. That's a Scientology thing. That's kind of their deal. That's not what we're talking about here.
Ronnie's not your gourmet.
No. No, not at all. I had to. Yeah, I remember I had to explain to Ronnie how my wife is Italian and I have 6 kids. That I know it's not pronounced placenta.
Things were a little on the slow side as far as shooting bucks out to 3-point this year. Several of the guys did see bucks, but either the bucks they saw were a little on the small side and they were hoping for something a little bigger, or they just weren't able to get shots off at the little nicer bucks that they did see.
What kind of function? What are you up to here, Scott?
Yeah, I'm turning the antenna
Okay.
more in a westerly direction.
Uh-huh.
I'm supposed to try to pick up channel 10 a little bit better, ABC.
Yeah.
Because it is noon on a Saturday. And there may be a football game on
Sure.
either, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think we're going to have to be content with channel 3.
Mm-hmm.
Watching a SEC game at 3:30. Hopefully we'll all have bucks by that time. We'll be able to get
Yeah.
back in and just have a few cocktails.
Yeah, I'll have to shoot them quick, huh?
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
California. Elizabeth Perez, last seen on September 2017. She may have traveled to East Los Angeles.
Now, my youngest son, Nick, he did get a spike horn during the archery season. And then, most of us out at the 3-point do have alternate spots that we hunt. The in-between times when we can't make it out to camp, we've got spots a little closer to home that we hunt. And my buddy Scott did get a nice little 8-pointer at one of his other spots that he hunts. So we were able to enjoy some nice fresh venison heart from that deer. And then my son Nick, like I say, he got that spike horn. So we had plenty of fresh venison out at the 3-point this year.
Comes in, quartering away from me. Shot. He kind of jumped and took off. I give him
about 5 minutes. I get out there, all this snow on the ground, no blood anywhere. I still have no blood, and I'm starting to think I'm going to need to mark this, and I'm going to need to start circling, looking for blood or for a deer. I'm standing there and I look, and then I can see it about 20 yards dead under a couple of balsam trees. So I get to the deer, and it's a nice little 8-pointer, and it's got a spot of blood about this big right next to its mouth, and that's it. That's the only blood that's there. Blood everywhere.
Yeah, it's just a dead deer every day of the week, but
Yeah.
you'd rather have a little bit of blood to not get so nervous.
You know,
So what do we have here, Scott?
a little deer heart.
Yeah, that's the heart off the buck you got, huh?
Yep.
So what did
Slice
you
it up?
Yeah, what'd you do to it?
Yep. I took the whole heart, kind of soaked it in brine overnight, and then slice it into thin chunks. And then what I like to do is I like to go around the inside and cut out the little bits of valve that might be on the inside of it. And then on this one here, what I did was I put it, because I wasn't going to eat it right away that next day like I a lot of times like to do. So I put it to marinate in Italian dressing for a day.
A lot of snow.
It's clear and it's cooling off out there.
Yeah, no, so it was cold. I shut the heater off and opened the window, the last 45 minutes. Yeah, that's not the way to go all night.
Where'd my clapper go? I was supposed to come in with the syncopated clapping.
All right, guys. Remember to hunt, fish, laugh, repeat. It's Dave Knetter from Knetter's Practical Outdoors. Hey, thanks for watching and God bless.